the people love jamming. Don't you wanna have fun?
Yo, what's up, man? Welcome back to the coolest channel on this side of the Mississippi. You know where you at. CeeLo Reacts. And boy, do I got a banger for y'all today. Hey, shit, I got a couple videos for y'all. You know, about the deepest, creepiest conspiracy theory that I got out there on TikTok. You know, I got the best videos, you know. Come fuck with me. Hey. Anyhow, shit, I forgot what I was going to say, but without further ado, let's get into the video.
Here comes the truth about the moon landings.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Certainly.
You guys need to watch this video of Cat Williams talking about Kevin Hurt.
At the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we had Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
We all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us.
The disturbing Japanese legend iceberg. This picture contains a list of urban legends from the least disturbing to the most. Today we're going to be talking about, or better known as, the Answer Man. This is a newer urban legend that honestly you could try at home if you're brave enough. It starts with 10 people sitting in a circle and each person calls the individual to their left. Everybody presses call at the same time, so naturally some people's calls don't go through, but that's when the Answer Man picks up. The Answer Man picks up the phone on the other line and you are able to ask one question and he has to give you the right answer. And this question could literally be anything you can think of. After you ask your question, the Answer Man then will ask one of his own. And here's the thing, if you get his question wrong, a hand is supposed to come through the screen and rip a limb off your body. So tag 9 other people who are down to play this game with you, because I for sure will not play this one. Make sure to like and follow for more videos.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously ruin your life. This list shows all the conspiracy theories from the most normal ones we all know to the darkest of the dark that will change the way you literally see the world. And of course in this series we're going to be going from the top all the way down to the bottom. Come back, let's go for part 2. The Titanic didn't hit an iceberg. So we all know about the Titanic, of course, the really famous ship that sunk, and it's commonly believed that it hit an iceberg, but this might change your mind. This is mental. There was of course survivors of the Titanic, and a lot of them were interviewed. Not one of them mentioned anything about an iceberg. What's crazier is a few people did say that there was a fire. Interesting. Now go and look at this. Before the ship even set sail, you can see a burn area in the photo. And it's actually the engine and boiler room right there. And if there was a fire in there, that's not ideal. Now there's a couple of theories I'm going to talk about, but the first one was that it never even hit an iceberg at all. It was actually an inside job done by people such as the Rothschild family, which I will make a video on later in the series. Main theory that is very believable has something to do with this burn mark. Now the theory is there was a fire on the Titanic before it even set off, and this fire weakened the hull of the boat. Maybe there was an iceberg, but not as big as it's made out to be. It did hit this iceberg, and if there wasn't a fire it would have been completely fine. Everyone would have just not even realised. But due to the hull and the ship already being weakened from the fire, that's what made it sink. I mean, that's a very believable theory. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And make sure you hit that follow button, because it's going to get crazier. Obviously.
World's most dangerous conspiracy theories. This picture contains a list of conspiracy theories from the most well-known to the darkest. Welcome to Tier 9. Today we're going to be talking about the strange berry picker disappearances. God, that's a mouthful to say. In 2011, a man named David wrote a book called Missing 411. The book covers all of the most unsolved cases of people going missing in national parks. Some people would just wander off the trail, some would fall into the river, and some people didn't even know they were missing. Do you want to know what all of these people had in common right before they went missing? They were all picking berries. Stay with me, it's about to get crazy. One case is 6-year-old Lillian Carney, and in 1897, she went missing right after she was picking berries. According to her parents, she was here for 1 second and gone the next, almost like she just vanished. They notified the police, and around midnight, which was 12 hours later, they found her miles away from where she originally was, and they found her in a dazed trance. It gets even weirder. Police then start to question her on how she went missing, thinking maybe the parents had something to do with it. The little girl didn't even remember walking, which is crazy because she was miles away from where she originally was at. On top of that, she said the sun shined all the time, which would be impossible because it was midnight. Now, this didn't happen just once, but this has happened over 50 times. So are these people just mysteriously going missing in the woods? Or is there something darker here that we don't know about? Make sure to like and follow for more videos.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. Part 11. Today we are talking about time loops. This is mental and very, very confusing. So you've seen films such as Groundhog Day, Palm Springs, or Dark or anything. You kind of get the gist of this, where people are kind of stuck in a time loop reliving the same day again and again and again. Like things like Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day, all of that kind of stuff. What if this actually exists in real life? The theory is maybe there are some kind of wormholey weird places on Earth that connect interdimensionally with parallel universes. Told you it was confusing, didn't I? Now, if you don't know, parallel universes, a universe is the same as ours, where things play out differently. But maybe there are actual things like this out there. So kind of think of it as if like a black hole, but on Earth. And maybe when you enter this, it kind of freezes time, so you're just stuck on your own. Almost like in your own bubble, just going through the same day again and again and again. I mean, it's mental and a crazy theory, but I mean, if you think about certain explanations for it, it kind of could be possible. But it's still mental.
The childhood conspiracy theory iceberg. This picture represents conspiracy theories that will change your childhood forever. As always, make sure to join the Discord for the full list. This is tier 1. Mrs. Puff is a psychopath. We've all seen SpongeBob and we've all seen Mrs. Puff before. On the episode titled No Free Rides in Season 2, Mrs. Puff says this.
What have I done? Everyone will know that I let him slide through school. I'll have to move to a new city, start a new boating school with a new name. No. Not again.
This is hinting that Mrs. Puff has changed her identity before, and I promise this gets worse. In season 12, episode 21, SpongeBob is helping her organize some of her junk, and he comes across a newspaper that says, "Deranged boat teacher makes getaway." So the real question remains, who is Mrs. Puff? Make sure to like and follow for tomorrow's video.
Scariest conspiracy theories in the world that will seriously change your life. Part 11. Today we are talking about time loops. This is mental and very, very confusing. So you've seen films such as Groundhog Day, Palm Springs, or Dark or anything. You kind of get the gist of this, where people are kind of stuck in a time loop reliving the same day again and again and again. Like things like Groundhog Day, Happy Death Day, all of that kind of stuff. What if this actually exists in real life? The theory is maybe there are some kind of wormholey weird places on Earth that connect interdimensionally with parallel universes. Told you it was confusing, didn't I? Now, if you don't know, parallel universes, a universe is the same as ours, where things play out differently. But maybe there are actual things like this out there. So kind of think of it as if like a black hole, but on Earth. And maybe when you enter this, it kind of freezes time, so you're just stuck on your own. Almost like in your own bubble, just going through the same day again and again and again. I mean, it's mental and a crazy theory, but I mean, if you think about certain explanations for it, it kind of could be possible. But it's still mental.
The childhood conspiracy theory iceberg. This picture represents conspiracy theories that will change your childhood forever. As always, make sure to join the Discord for the full list. This is tier 1. Mrs. Puff is a psychopath. We've all seen SpongeBob and we've all seen Mrs. Puff before. On the episode titled No Free Rides in Season 2, Mrs. Puff says this.
What have I done? Everyone will know that I let him slide through school. I'll have to move to a new city, start a new boating school with a new name. No. Not again.
This is hinting that Mrs. Puff has changed her identity before, and I promise this gets worse. In season 12, episode 21, SpongeBob is helping her organize some of her junk, and he comes across a newspaper that says, "Deranged boat teacher makes getaway." So the real question remains, who is Mrs. Puff? Make sure to like and follow for tomorrow's video.
I'm going to show you possibly the biggest lie in history, at least if a lie could be measured by money. And that is because it is a lie two specific companies would love you to believe. Unfortunately, many say there may be nothing we can do to fix this lie. And the lie is that there is a world's richest person. Currently, this richest person is Elon Musk. And I'll show you why some of the darkest organizations want you to believe this. According to Forbes, people like Elon and Jeff Bezos are the world's richest people, but they can only list people whose assets are visible or public knowledge. Try as you might, there are people and organizations with assets so secret it is impossible to calculate their wealth. And since wealth is unfortunately power, this is a problem. For example, there is no way to know the worth of Vladimir Putin or the Saudi family. People can give estimates like saying they're worth $1.4 trillion, but this is nothing more than a guess. Knowing that assets can be hidden leads us to these two organizations, BlackRock and Vanguard. And there is good reason many people say these companies run the world. And the strange part is that both of these companies are the biggest investor of the other. For many, this is a massive warning sign, especially since they own a huge stake in all the major news networks. This includes Fox and CNN. And on a side note, they would seem to profit from the rhetoric that keeps us divided, along with having major sway in what the networks can say. Big Pharma? Vanguard owns huge shares in Pfizer. Oil and gas? They hold Shell, even Microsoft. And the scariest part is that they hold majority voting power in many of their investments. So who is the owner of them? They are so heavily invested in each other, it's strange to call them two companies. A quick Google search and a legal probe will show you that nobody actually knows who owns them. And because the organization is private, nobody knows who is a member of the company, though Vanguard has said that BlackRock has a unique company structure, which doesn't sound sketchy at all. There is one very public figure, however, and this is Larry Fink. He loves working at deep levels in the government and has no political affiliation because he will go wherever the money flows. He tried being the secretary for Hillary Clinton and was brought on as an advisor for Trump. He plays both sides. We saw this as he tried for the position of secretary for the Biden administration. So with all this mystery around the BlackRock Vanguard group, who is the richest person? If we go back in history, we can see that the Rothschild family is one of BlackRock and Vanguard's biggest holders. And conspiracy theorists have had a heyday with the stories of this family over decades. Other shareholders include the Bush family and even the royal family of England. So though we may know the families tied to these organizations, we may never know who runs them. And these shady individuals clearly have a reason they want to keep it that way. Welcome to the Gleek.com channel as we reveal more about the world of money and crypto.
Here's a true story from Antarctica that has me asking a lot of questions. A naval flight engineer tells the story of his experience in McMurdo Station, Antarctica around 1995. They fly this huge plane around the continent and do assignments like drop people off, pick people up, stuff like that. Whenever they would fly toward the pole, they would always get to the same spot called Beardmore Glacier. In this area and throughout the continent, it's so common to see flying circular craft flying up and down and in pairs all around them. During lunchtime, they would all have discussions about this, and one thing they all noticed was that these craft would never fly through the no-fly zone near Beardmore Glacier. They thought there was some sort of barrier or territorial agreement that they couldn't go there. One day there was a medical accident on the other side of the continent, and this crew realized that it would take them 6 hours to get to this man. The captain knew that flying through this no-fly zone would actually be faster than going around, so he asked why they couldn't fly through the zone. And the answer they got was that it was an air monitoring station. They concluded that they're high enough and that they wouldn't contaminate the air, so they decided to fly through this no-fly zone. So they're flying and they're all looking down. They look and they notice that there's this huge hole in the ice that was probably the size of a football field. It led deep under the ice. Of course, they were all mystified and they all had so much questions on what this hole was. They pick up this guy and they head straight back to McMurdo Station. As soon as they land, they're met with the guy in an all-black suit. Remember, this is Antarctica, so this must have been really important. The crew was told by this man, what you saw at pole, you did not see. You do not talk about this because you never saw it. After much rumors, they realized what this thing could really have been. It is said that extraterrestrials and the government are working together within this hole as some sort of collaboration. Yo, we all know we've heard all the conspiracy theories talk about this Agartha theory and all this stuff, but after what this government guy said, I'm really starting to think about it. Whistleblowers have reported this stuff so many times. Let me know what you guys think because there are so many possibilities on what this thing could be. I don't doubt this story at all, especially since so many soldiers report this.
Have you ever heard of the lottery conspiracy theory? You know when you go inside of a gas station and you find lottery tickets and people buy them and they scratch them off in hopes of winning millions of dollars? What if I told you about the conspiracy theory that says the government created the lottery in order to catch time travelers? I know it sounds crazy, but just bear with me, it's going to make a lot of sense. Okay, so people believe the government created the lottery in order to catch time travelers. The chance of winning the lottery right now is about 1 in 14 million. So statistically, you have a better chance of getting struck by lightning. Now let's take a look at one of the most popular lotteries called the Mega Millions. You have a 1 in 300 million chance of winning this lottery. Or in other words, you would need to be struck by lightning 21 times back to back to back in order to win this lottery. So the odds of winning are nearly impossible, so that's why people believe the government created this in order to catch time travelers, is because the time travelers would know exactly where to go and exactly which one. God, that was a mouthful to say, but make sure to like and follow if you guys want to see more videos.
This video recently surfaced, showing a mosquito which appears to have the number 38 written on it. And I mean, what the hell is this all about? Of course, this has started conspiracy theories all over the internet. But one theory basically being that they're drones, you know, people that believe birds are drones. A lot of people actually believe pigeons, like every single pigeon is a drone. And get this, some people actually believe that the lockdown was staged by the government so they could replace all the bird/drones batteries. People are saying potentially this is like, I don't know, some government test or something, they're releasing some disease or whatever, who knows. The theory more believable, maybe they're doing tests on a group of mosquitoes and, you know, just put numbers on the back to categorize them or whatever. What makes it a bit creepier is that he didn't just find this one with a number on it, there was several the next day he found them, blah blah blah. But I mean, who knows, obviously it opens up the internet to a lot of theories, so let me know in the comments what you think, hit that follow button and I'll keep you updated.
Alright, man. If you rocked out with me to the end, thank you. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Or hell, just leave me a comment and holler at me, you know. All y'all like my virtual friends, you know, hit me up, man. I'll reply back, you know. That shit, man, ain't gonna hold y'all too long. Y'all take it easy.